Continuing coverage on a story we brought to you this weekend. A couple is in custody after a shooting in Spokane's East Central neighborhood. A man's been charged with assault in the third degree. He's being held on a $50,000 bond. His wife was just released and her assault charge has been dropped. Court documents show the suspect admitted to using a gun to force a man off the property, citing alleged physical contact with his wife. Witnesses reported seeing the suspect, fire from a balcony and then chase the unknown man while shooting more rounds. His wife was released after her assault charge was dropped, but still faces an evidence tampering charge. Idaho Fish and Game is asking for information after 2 elk were illegally killed in Farragut State Park. Conservation officers say they were found less than a half-mile from the park visitor center near State Highway 54. The killings are believed to have occurred between April 10th and 11th. So if you have any information about what happened, you should contact the number on your screen.
In Grant County, after a kayaker discovered their body in Crab Creek over the weekend. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the kayaker found the body near Beverly Saturday evening, about 3.5 miles east of State Route 243. Deputies used a drone to locate the body. For safety reasons, crews had to wait until Sunday morning to begin the recovery operation. The body is now with the coroner, and their staff is working to identify the body and the
As we come on air tonight, a plea to drop charges after last summer's ICE protest. What happened in court today? Plus, Dairy Gold agrees to a major settlement over Clean Water Act violations. What happens next to that Sunnyside facility? And there is good news tonight. A teenager's dream becomes reality. How a local nonprofit plans to continue changing lives.
Mountain snow chances pick up overnight as the cold front moves in. I'm tracking the latest weather across the inland northwest. Your nonstop local Pulse Prime starts now.
Morgan Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities. You're watching NonStop Local Pulse Prime.
Well, good evening. I'm Morgan Ashley. Welcome to Pulse Prime. And let's bring in Tori Smith right away to talk about our forecast, because things have been changing. Every day's kind of brought a new challenge for people.
I know, and today's challenge is the mountain snow that we're going to be seeing overnight. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the radar as it's currently active across the inland northwest. I do want to show you a look at the satellite as of right now. We've got some rain. We also have some mountain snow happening in the Rockies as well as the Cascades. So let's go ahead and dive right into some of those areas currently seeing some of the active weather. Clark Fork over to Hayden, seeing some of those heavier showers at this time. Bonners Ferry also seeing some isolated snow showers, and that goes into Ione this evening as well. One more area that we are looking at is Colville and over to Chewelah and even down into about Springdale. Going to be starting to see some of those showers as we head into your overnight hours. We do have a cold front moving through. This is going to be moving through between tonight and early tomorrow morning, bringing up and ramping up our chances for some shower activity as well as mountain snow. I'm expecting that snow to really pick up as soon as we get to about 1 p.m. for tomorrow afternoon. You can see even over towards about the areas into Idaho, seeing some of those heavier snow showers, and into the Rockies. We could see anywhere upwards of 12 to even 20 inches of snow along the passes. So if you have to travel in the next couple of days, just drive with care. Winds right now starting to pick up already, 23 miles per hour towards Yakima as of right now, and 15 towards Missoula. Couple of advisories in place as well, and make sure to stay with us for all of the latest information. Morgan?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Tori. Some continuing coverage now is nearly 10 months after the ICE protest in downtown Spokane. 3 of the 9 people arrested appeared in court today. NonStop Local's Ainsley Anderson reports.
Well, both motions brought in front of a judge Tuesday afternoon were dismissed. The first motion was to redact the initial indictment, saying that it lacked specificity. That's the argument that the defense made. However, the government came back and said that it has as much specifics as it can about the situation without naming officers, by name. Now, the second denied motion was the dismissal of one of the defendants, Jack Archer. Now, Archer's defense argued that the intent to partake in a peaceful protest is different than the intent for conspiracy to intimidate and or impede on law enforcement actions. However, the government argues that that should be something decided in trial by a jury. Now, with trial quickly approaching, the judge says that the next pretrial commentary will be on May 5th, where they will dive more into the conversation surrounding the jury questionnaire in order to bring in an unbiased jury pool. Reporting in Spokane, I'm Ainsley Anderson, NonStop Local.
Well, continuing coverage as contamination from forever chemicals continues to be a major cause of concern for people relying on groundwater in the West Plains. Today, county commissioners voted to put the establishment of a new aquifer protection area on the ballot for the voter to consider in August.
Madam Chair, I move to approve public hearing item number 5B in the matter of authorizing a ballot measure for the August 2026 for the West Plains Aquifer Protection Area.
So commissioners held a public hearing today. Its purpose was to get feedback from people living in the affected area. This map gives you an idea of where more than 18,000 parcels of land identified for the APA are located. While the proposal contains a large area, it does not include either Fairchild Air Force Base or Spokane International Airport. So now it is up to the voters. A vote in support would mean new annual fees for residents. The first, an annual $15 fee for anyone within the district who accesses groundwater. The second, at $15 a year for properties utilizing a septic system. But if you're on an established sewer system, that sewage disposal fee would not apply to you. Right now, Darigold agreeing to pay $2 million to the Yakima Nation, settling a lawsuit centered on pollution in the Yakima River. The nonprofit brought the legal action against the dairy company last summer, claiming its Sunnyside processing facility violated the Federal Clean Water Act. Darigold maintains waste from its Sunnyside facility has not caused harm, but the nonprofit Columbia Riverkeeper sees this settlement as a win for the Yakima Nation and for the river, as it says pollution and an infestation of aquatic plants are destroying water quality and fish habitat. Xander Adams reports on this.
We aimed to hold Darigold accountable for over 4 years of unlawful pollution at its Sunnyside facility.
In a Federal Clean Water Act lawsuit, Columbia Riverkeeper accusing Darigold of exceeding pollution limits at its Sunnyside facility.
Things like biological oxygen demand, total nitrogen, and total ammonia.
Pollutants which can drop oxygen levels in the water.
And that's extremely harmful for fish and aquatic life, and it really threatens the survival of fish that need that cool oxygenated water to survive.
Columbia Riverkeeper staff attorney Taryn Yazdani noting the Yakima River and surrounding water bodies already struggle with high pH levels and temperature.
It's getting to the heart of it's important for Darigold to follow the law and really not violate its permit so it doesn't contribute to the ongoing water quality issues.
Even in paying out the settlement, Darigold states neither a court nor the Department of Ecology has placed fault to the company and that it has worked to responsibly manage wastewater. Darigold says it settled the lawsuit in the interest of maintaining strong relationships in the area. The money paid out to the Yakima Nation going straight back to the river and the Yakima Nation's fight against water stargrass, a fast-growing aquatic plant wrecking fish habitat, salmon spawning grounds, and water quality as it mats up, slowing and warming water to the point that stretches of the lower Yakima River become more like a pond.
The settlement, we're hoping, is a step in the right direction and will really lead to lasting improvements, helping the tribe restore salmon, steelhead, lamprey habitat, and populations.
That was Xander Adams reporting. Darigold says it is pleased to resolve the dispute and, quote, put it behind us. The Yakima Nation tells NonStop Local there's an estimated 50,000 acres of the stargrass in the lower 60 miles of the Yakima, so that funding is a big help. Well, take a look at this. A power pole snapped in half by a suspected impaired driver. Sheriff's deputies say the 47-year-old was driving south on Bowdish and Spokane Valley when he veered and hit that power pole, snapping it in half, dropping the live wires. The crash shut down the entire road for about 2.5 hours while crews cleaned up the scene. The suspect was charged with DUI and possession of a controlled substance after finding suspected fentanyl. Well, continuing coverage on a story we brought you over the weekend, a large emergency response at the Spokane River near the convention center on Sunday. They were searching for a missing person whose belongings were found along the shore. At this point, no one has been found. One person has been arrested, 3 children being placed into protective custody after a month-long narcotics investigation led to a search near Sela. Investigators found controlled substances and confirmed the drugs were being distributed in the community. 3 children were placed in protective custody after police found unsafe and unsanitary conditions in the home. The suspect was booked into the Yakima County Jail. In Yakima, the Lions Pool set to reopen tomorrow after more than 40 days closed due to budget cuts. The City Council voted to use reserves to get it ready for summer. After Council's decision, Parks and Rec staff raced to prepare the pool in just 1 week. The city also funded repairs for Franklin Pool, bringing the total to 3 public pools, matching the number in Tri-Cities. Parks and Rec's director Ken Wilkinson says each pool plays a pretty unique role.
All the different pools serve different groups, different areas, different populations. We have the pool here at Lions Park that serves a lot of people. We also have Franklin Pool, which is an outdoor pool, short season, geared mostly for recreation. And then we have our aquatic center at Martin Luther King Jr. Park. People can come from all over.
Looking ahead, Wilkinson says the goal is to return Lions Pool to year-round use, but that decision rests with City Council. Well, the Washington State Cougars don't have much time left during spring football camp. Austin Getz joins us now. You've got to take advantage of this time before the summer break, right?
Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
College football is going to take a break, and we won't see it till fall here pretty soon.
That's
there,
true.
Morgan. But still practicing right now. Spring camp, though, is already past the halfway mark for the Cougars. Spring games are approaching. WSU will play their annual Crimson and Gray game next Saturday. Cougs were back on the practice field today for the first time since their first scrimmage on Saturday, where the defense was a bit more buttoned up than their offensive counterparts. Head coach Kirby Moore, though, wants to see everyone, offense and defense, improve their polish this week.
I think the biggest thing on offense, there's a few too many negative plays, right? From that standpoint, operation things that we can help with. Got to take a profit when it's there, get the ball out of our hand. I think defensively there was some D&D, knowing the situation, right? You getting a third and XL opportunity. Make sure everyone on the field on defense knows that and keep the ball in front of you.
Again, Crimson and Gray game next Saturday, April 25th at 2 o'clock in Pullman. You Team Crimson or Team Gray? What do you think?
Oh, that's hard. I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about it, Austin.
Here we go. I'll take Team Crimson, you take Team Gray.
Okay, there we go.
And if
we win either way.
Yeah, there you go. At the end of the day, the Cougs win.
Yeah, go Cougs. All right, still to come here tonight, one local Spokane boy's dreams come true, how a nonprofit transformed his bedroom, coming up.
And it's a bit dreary outside this evening. Make sure to grab that raincoat if you leave the house. I'll have your full forecast coming up shortly.
Content connecting community. You're watching The Pulse.
This is The Pulse, and we start in the Middle East. Today marks the first day of the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, and right now there are 12 Navy ships and more than 10,000 service members enforcing a blockade. They're stopping ships from any country traveling to or from ports into Iran. Ships are free to travel if they are not visiting Iranian ports. It's not known at this time if the military is escorting merchants through the strait. Iran's armed forces have since accused the U.S. of, quote, piracy, saying the country's ports are quote, either for everyone or for no one, end quote. The president hinted there could be a second round of peace talks in the coming days. A U.S. official, however, confirmed there is nothing scheduled at this moment. There is still no clarification of what will happen after the 2-week ceasefire ends next Wednesday, April 22nd. In Washington, D.C. today, historical talks between Israel and Lebanon, the first diplomatic conversation in over 30 years. Secretary of State Marco Rubio joined the conversation. State Department released this statement saying the two sides had, quote, productive discussions on steps toward launching direct negotiations. Ahead of these talks, Hezbollah opposed them, calling for an end to the war and a pullout of Israeli troops from Lebanon. Here is a look at gas prices now. Washington and Idaho both above the national average. That is all from the Pulse. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, you saw snow mode there. This is Mount Spokane, okay? How does this happen? It's spring here, but it feels like a winter wonderland up there. The ski season's over. Sure doesn't look like it. Of course, for those looking to plan for the summer months, a summer day camp registration is now open if you're interested, which is so fascinating to me, Tori, because Mount Spokane is one of the lower elevation ski areas. So it just must have been a perfect spot for snow. Yeah. That's what the conditions must have been perfect, because that is not typical.
I mean, any elevation right now really is seeing snow. Yeah. We have the temperatures for it, and we've got the precipitation as well, so it's kind of the perfect storm.
Yeah, last little bit of winter before we go into spring.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of your forecasts today. I do want to touch on outside is just a dreary evening. Those temperatures currently into the 40s, and some areas like Tri-Cities into those mid-50s as well. We do have the showers continuing overnight. That is going to be mainly for about the Chewelah area at this hour, and down further south into Spokane, and then into the Tri-Cities as well. So all of us seeing a little bit of rainfall continue this evening. And if you're near the mountain ranges, we do have some winter weather as well. Winter weather advisory is currently in place for these areas in the purple. We have one right over here for Ferry County until about 5 p.m. That one should be expiring by tomorrow. We also have a freeze watch in place. Some of these areas definitely dropping below freezing as this cold front is starting to pass. This goes for Lincoln, Washington, and further into northern Oregon. Low temperatures tonight are already starting to drop. You can see we're going to see about 29 as we head as far as the Cascades. As we head further south, about 42 degrees. As we head into Pullman, 38. And about 44 degrees overnight towards Orofino. The winds are going to really pick up from here as well. Some wind gusts up to about 40 miles an hour is a possibility. And some even into about the 50-mile-per-hour range is also a possibility overnight. This is what we typically see with a cold front here in the inland northwest. Most of those ranges are going to start to die down by the time we get to early tomorrow morning, but you can see areas like Pullman, Potlatch, seeing roughly about 35 miles an hour as a wind gust. It really starts to die down by about 1, maybe even 2 p.m. We should start to see those wind gusts roughly about 5 to even 20 miles an hour possible. But this is all due to that cold front moving through overnight, right about 8 a.m., 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's already past Coeur d'Alene and heading into Kalispell. But as soon as this cold front passes, we have all that cold Arctic air rushing in, and that's going to bring higher chances for snow along the Cascades as well as the Rockies as we head into your Wednesday and into your Thursday. So you can see those snow showers starting to pick up along the Rockies and even further south into Montana. A couple of isolated showers could definitely be possible as well for about the Washtenaw area. And snow is going to be very likely along those mountain passes. So drive with care if you have to go anywhere the next couple of days. Some areas could be even seeing upwards of about 8 to even 12 inches of snow along the passes. In the meantime, your highs tomorrow going to stay nice and cool into the upper 40s and low 50s. Here's a look at those passes as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. Some areas still expecting roughly about 4 to 8 inches of rainfall as well as snowfall into those mountain ranges. I am thinking some areas, if you're heading down towards Boise, could see anywhere up to about 20 inches of snowfall. So if you have to go anywhere along that area, just drive with care. But we do have a warming trend as we head into Saturday and into Sunday. Looking ahead for the weekend and into Monday and Tuesday, it starts to taper off just a bit. Morgan?
Well, coming up, the Seattle Mariners taking their winning streak on the road, and they could they keep it going down in San Diego? That is right after this.
From the Northern Quest Sports Studio, this is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
Sure, it's early in the season, but the Seattle Mariners are riding a 4-game win streak, their longest yet. They took it on the road tonight to start a series in San Diego. The Vetter Cup Trophy up for grabs, the first meeting of these friendly rivals this year happening down in Padreville. Mariners would score first with a sac fly, but the Padres answer in the third. Fernando Tatis Jr. punches one through the drawn-in infield. Runner scores from third. We're even at 1-1. A few batters later, 2 on and 2 out for Xander Bogaerts. He's able to send this one into center field where it drops in front of Julio Rodriguez. Both runs come in to score, and the Padres take the lead. From there, the Mariners just could not capitalize on multiple chances. 6th inning, J.P. Crawford grounds into an inning-ending double play. And in the 8th inning, Josh Naylor, with the tying run at the plate, also bounces into a rally-killing double play. The Padres end up taking this one 4-1, snapping the Mariners' 4-game win streak. They're back at it tomorrow trying to start a new streak, Game 2 against the Friars. Spokane Indians also opened a 6-game home series today. An 11 a.m. first pitch for Education Day at the ballpark. And in front of a ton of the youngsters, Spokane gets the 5-3 win. Spokane native Stu Flesland picks up the victory, pitching 4 innings, allowing 2 runs. He struck out 3 and didn't walk anybody. Fall camp is flying by for the Eastern Washington Eagles, if you'll pardon the pun. Eagles looking to make the most of their time on the field before breaking for summer. Their first scrimmage is Saturday at 10 a.m. and with options at quarterback and a wild cycle of being forced to try different QBs last season, head coach Aaron Best explains what he's looking from them, in this scrimmage.
How well do you lead? How willing are those guys ready to follow, and how fast are they going to follow? That's sometimes due to play, sometimes that's due to by the example they are. And both those older guys have been around a little bit. Caden not as long, but just the efficiency, possessing the ball, and then just being them, making the plays that are there, and then occasionally making the play that you're like, whoa, but not forcing the issue.
Eastern's red-white game is coming up on Friday, May 1st. Starting with almost a completely empty roster for the second straight season, Washington State Cougar men's basketball is beginning to land new players for next season. And today, a big get for the Cougs. The team announcing they've signed Central Missouri transfer Lazarick Houston, a 6-foot guard. Last season at Division II Central Missouri, he averaged just under 21 points per game and was the conference freshman and player of the year. Recruiting outlets list him as the top Division II transfer in the portal this offseason. Houston joins Manhattan transfer Fraser Roxburgh as the first two players to join the Cougs via the transfer portal in this offseason. And some more Gonzaga Bulldog transfer portal news. Redshirt sophomore Yakima Moore has entered the portal. He announced that today. After redshirting his first season, he appeared in 12 total games over the past 2 seasons. He was a fan favorite who made the most of his slim time on the court in lopsided victories and will seek out more playing time at his next destination. And a cool moment for former WSU Cougar Charlize Ledger-Walker in last night's WNBA draft. With the Connecticut Sun selecting her in the second round, Ledger-Walker becomes the first ever player from New Zealand taken in the WNBA draft. After spending 4 years at WSU, Ledger-Walker transferred to UCLA, and after sitting out 1 year due to injury, just capped off her collegiate career with a national championship with the Bruins. The video you're seeing right now, Morgan, is actually a couple of years ago. Charlize wasn't playing that year, but that was when UCLA came to Spokane when the women's tournament was here. And it was great to catch up with her at that time. She said, hey, still have love for the Cougs, but just was looking to finish her career elsewhere. Played all 4 years, has a degree from Washington State, so you could still claim her as a Coug, I think.
Yeah, we have to. Hold on to the ones that are notable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, a quick break. We're back right after this. Before we let you go tonight, some good news. One Spokane teen is getting his dream bedroom thanks to a local nonprofit, Special Deeds for Special Needs. This room was built for Micah, who has been known to the program since he was in 3rd grade. He's now a junior at Central Valley High School. The organization says this is their first surprise reveal they've done, and they aim to do 5-bedroom makeovers for special needs children each year who are nominated by the community. If you want to help this organization support the special needs community, they do accept donations including room decor, furniture, and tech that are in good condition. That's amazing. Love all those pictures, too. Well, nearly 1 in 5 children in Spokane County face food insecurity. NonStop Local is proud to be highlighting the annual Bites and Books Food Drive, a partnership with libraries across the county. So if you'd like to participate, please scan the QR code on your screen to identify the closest participating location to you. That is all for Pulse Prime tonight. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. As we come on, a plea to drop charges after last summer's ICE protest. What happened in court today? Plus, Dairy Gold agrees to a major settlement.